Hey, what's up everyone? In this part of the series, I'm gonna show you how to import the models and the assets that we're gonna use inside of this game, like the 3D Vortex and the UI elements. Then we're gonna create the 3D ball and we'll be able to move it forward. Before we get started, consider subscribing to our channel, that helps me a lot. And let's jump right into it. So here's what we left off from the previous video. We've created this Unity project. For now it's empty. Today we are going to add the vortex and move the ball forward. First of all, we need to import the assets that we're gonna use for this game. You could download this folder that contains all of the models, the audio, and the sprites that we're gonna use. The link will be under the description. Let's go ahead and import all of these folders. You could simply drag them under the assets. And let's start by adding a vortex. Under models, we have all of the 3D shapes, like the different balls or characters that we're gonna use in this game, as well as the vortex. The name is pipe. To use this model, we can drag it under the scene. Once you drag it under the scene, you could see it inside of this game, as well as the scene view. We have different tools, like the move tool. We can zoom in and out using the mouse wheel. We can select objects and move them on the y-axis, the x-axis, or the z-axis. And from the inspector, you could see all of these properties like the position. I'm gonna reset it to 0 by changing the x position to 0 and the z position. For now it's a little bit boring because it's white. To add the vortex effect or the material to this pipe, we have different textures like this one that is blue. And to apply this texture to the 3D model, we can drag it like this. Also, you could change it to the different colors by dragging another one like yellow, purple, and so on. I'm gonna change the name to Vortex using right-click, rename, and Vortex. We can change the position of the main camera so that we can have a better view. We have the Y position, we can move it up and down. Also, we can move it along the Z axis, like -12. I think -10 is fine. I can rotate it around the X axis. So make sure to play around with the position of the camera to get the better view. For now we have one vortex. Actually, we can duplicate it by selecting the vortex object. Then you could use Ctrl D to get another one. Then we can move it along the Z axis. We can change the background of the scene. For now we have the default scene, which is this blue sky. I want to change it to a simple color by selecting the main camera, and under the inspector we can change the clear flags from skybox to a solid color. The default color is blue. We can change it to another one using this color wheel. Now it's time to add the ball. To do that, we can create a 3D sphere under this scene using right-click, then 3D object. As you can see, we have different shapes like cube, sphere, and so on. Let's start with the sphere. You could change the name using right-click, rename, and let's call it ball. For now, we can't see it because we have a random position. We can reset it to 0 by selecting these 3 dots, then reset, or you could change the X, the Y, and the Z to 0. Now we have the ball in the middle. Let's move it a little bit down. I think -2.5 is fine. Also, we can move it along the Z axis. -2 is okay. The same thing, we can change the material of this ball by dragging one of these images or textures, for example a blue color. And if you want to try this game and test it, we have this play button that we can press, and that's how the game looks like when you install it on your phone or computer. As you can see, the ball is not moving. To do that, we need to create scripts that moves the ball along the z-axis. Later on, we're gonna add the option to rotate it around this axis. And to create a script, let's go under Assets. Then we can right-click, Create, C# script. Let's give it a name, like Player Controller. Then we can open it up by double-clicking on it. Then we have two functions, the start function and the update one. The start function is called once, and we use it to set up some variables or change some settings and so on. But the update method or function is called over and over again. Each frame, we can use it to check for inputs or to move the ball forward each time. To do that, we can add transform, and that will access the transform of the ball when we attach the script to our ball or player. Then we have a function that is called translate to translate the ball using dot, and the name of the function, translate. This takes three parameters. The first one is the x value. We don't want to move the ball left and right along the x-axis. That's why I'm gonna use 0. The same thing for the y. But we want to move it forward along the z-axis. We can set speed like 7, or we can create a variable on top using float. So this is the type of the variable, which is a decimal number like 2.5. Then we give it a name like speed or forward speed if you want, equals 7. I highly recommend you to use variables all the time. And to use the value of the speed, we can write the name of the variable, which is speed. But we have one problem. The update function is called differently depending on the computer, if it's faster or slower. To make it frame rate independent, we have to multiply this value by the time dot delta time, and that will make it frame rate independent, which means the ball will move with the same speed whether you are using a faster computer or not. Now we can save the script using File and Save, or you could hit Ctrl S. And let's go back into Unity, and we have to attach our script to the ball so that we can apply the command that we have written, which is transform.translate, and move the ball along the z-axis. To do that, we can simply drag in the script on top of the ball, and if you go under the inspector, you will see the name of the script. And let's hit play again, and there you go, we have the ball that is moving forward along the z-axis. So I think that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. I hope you like it. If you have any question or comment, make sure to write it under the comment section. Also, don't forget to ring the notifications bell so that you get notified with my next videos. In the next part, we are going to make the camera follow the player, and we'll be able to rotate it around the z-axis so that we can avoid obstacles. And I will see you in the next one.